Hello, singer-songwriters. Finding it hard to transition from acoustic to electric? Well, here are some of the things that I do to make the electric feel more familiar, more like an acoustic. Alright, let's get to it. My guitar is set up so that the action's not too low. If it's too low, it'll just fret out and it won't get any louder. Whereas me, I set up the guitar, it's not a very high action. At the bass it's about 1.5 and at the treble it's about 1.25. I want the action to be as low as possible because basically I like an easy playing guitar. So I can go from this and this is clean. When I step my distortion and I play with distortion, it goes from So, action is important to me because if you don't have a high enough action or enough action, then it will just fret out and you can't get any louder than how you strum it, whether you strum it soft or loud. The other thing that makes a difference, of course, is the string gauge. When I first started playing electric guitar, coming from acoustic, I had heavier gauge strings. Because I used to have 12s to 54s in my acoustic guitars, and when I came to playing the electric, if I played skinny strings on electric guitars, it just didn't feel at home, it didn't feel very good and I couldn't play. So I used to use 11s to 52s and that worked for me. So you might find that if you're transitioning from acoustic to electric, you might feel a bit more at home if you have a slightly heavier gauge, apart from the ones that are usually recommended for electric, which is usually 10s to 46. Now, I made the transition to electric quite some years ago. Now, maybe 5 years, 6 years. And it's only recently that I've changed to very light gauge strings, to 9s to 42s. But I'm so used to playing the electric now, I am at home with this gauge strings. On an acoustic, you have usually have an active EQ and volume system. So when you turn down the volume, it doesn't change the sound and the tone of the acoustic. You get the same tone, but just softer. With the electric, usually when it's set up with modern wiring, as you turn down the volume, it becomes a bit more unclear, a bit more muffled. And for me, I found that a problem because when I'm singing and when I'm playing, I don't want any change in the tone because it affects the way I play the guitar. So for me, I have 50s wiring. 50s wiring is something I like because when you turn down the volume control, it doesn't really change the tone, it just gets a bit softer. The amplifier, how do you set up the amplifier? With an electric guitar, you're getting more mids. So when I first started playing electric, I really missed the bass end. Okay, so the first thing I do is I try to mimic the EQ curves of a acoustic. That means I have less mids. So what I do is this. So immediately you can see more bass end. So it's as opposed to turning up the mids where you get this sound. It doesn't sound as big. So sometimes subtracting the EQ is a much better way to proceed. Now you can turn up the bass if you want more bass, or more treble if you want more treble. On the guitar itself, there's certain ways to make you feel more comfortable. If you have a 2 pickup guitar, then I'll put it in the middle and you get more bass. Let's turn the bass down. I don't like it when it's so turned up high. I prefer it to do as little adjustment to the EQ as I can. So this way it's bassier. You can always use the neck pickup too. So I usually, if I need it to be a bit warmer, I usually use this setting and like. Obviously I can do it on the bridge pickup too, but it'll sound different. Or sometimes I use the bridge pickup for these kind of songs. When I use the distortion, I turn down the volume on the guitar so that I get it slightly cleaner. So I go from. So if I'm playing this way, I usually turn up the mids a bit because I don't need to be too scooped. But I always want a big bass end. I hope you got something from this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, take care and bye.